Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'll be talking about, I should say the 10 Chinese partnership teams that was announced during this week. Before you actually get into officially the video, I just want to say massive thank you for the recent support on the iceberg video. I know this maybe like the 50th time I've said this, but truly it does mean a lot. Even though I have been very overwhelmed of the support, I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for the support on that video. And as well, keep commenting down below if I did miss anything or I kind of mess up on the entry. Just comment down below and I'll heart it and I'll just say thank you very much for it. So anyway, let's now move on now to the partnership teams. So what we're basically be doing is that obviously we'll have a look at the Chinese partnership teams. So instead of 10 teams that was announced during this week, a more in-depth look into that roster and basically of just how I think the team might go. But obviously, we don't really know considering that some of the rosters, we have no idea who's going to be on what. So let's first start off, obviously, with the first one, that being All Gamers. Now, All Gamers, obviously, they are a Chinese All, originally from StarCraft, but mostly well known from Crossfire. And I'm pretty sure they also have League of Legends team. Then they have a CS team, Arena Valor, COD, Heroes, League of Legends, so there it is, PUBG Mobile, and once again, StarCraft 2. They currently have two players, currently Bayan and Mika. Both of them are basically on loan from DRS Prospect, and apparently they've been around since 1999, which is interesting. They also do not have a coach as well. They haven't really been. I'm trying to remember. They have been actually in all acts, but they couldn't really make it past the open qualifiers. So, I mean, Act 1, they got beaten out by Tracy Sport to be knocked out. Then Act 2, they got beaten out by Bilbili Gaming. Then Act 3, they were part of the play-ins, which is impressive. But then they got beaten out by LGD Gaming. I'm pretty sure on the final spot to be a part of the main event. So, they are a pretty good team. It's just that, I mean, they were up against some very tough competition. So, I don't really know how All Game is going to go. It kind of obviously depends on the roster that they're going to be building. Are they going to be building around Bane and Mika? Are their contracts going to be fully bought by the team, or are they still going to be on loan from DRS Prospect? I don't really know. No one really knows, to be honest. So that is All Gamers. All Gamers, once again, just a bit of an unknown, I'll be honest, at this point. A team which is definitely not in the unknown is Bilbili Gaming. Obviously, this team, they were part of champions. So, obviously, the big news, or I should say the big stuff around Bilbili Gaming is that they beat NRG twice, which kind of ruined NRG's season in 2023. And I'll be honest, they have a very good team. The other esports that they've ventured in is fighting games, League of Legends, Overwatch and Wild Rift. And this is actually a very good roster, even though they have struggled massively, especially in Act 3, where I'm pretty sure they like knocked that instantly. I can't remember if they even made it to Act 2. I'm pretty sure they had. I'm pretty sure they did, but I'm not really too sure. But with the roster of Rin, Wizzy, Bianc, Knight, Yosemite, and Levias as the sub. Not really too sure if they can make any changes. I guess maybe the most likely one is maybe Levias. Yosemite could maybe make some could also be changed as well. And maybe Rin. I think Wiz, Bianca, and Knight, I think they're going to be safe. I'm not really too sure about everyone else. I think everyone else might be safe as well, considering that Bianca is also literally the IGL. Wiz, he's the star player of the team, and Knight, he's very consistent. So, I'm not really too sure what changes is that they could be doing. I don't know if they're going to be adding maybe more players, or they're going to be cutting some players. Not really too sure what the plan is for Billy. And the coach as well, Jackson and Paris. I don't think there's going to be any changes there as well for the two coaches. I think this is going to be a relatively solid roster. I think definitely around the second to fourth region, in my opinion, if we keep this roster. So they're very solid. It's just obviously if we have a look at the recent matches, like Act 1 they came 5th through 6th, then in Act 2 they came 5th through 6th as well, and then in Act 3 they came 9th through 12th, which is their worst position. So not really that good though for Bilbili, considering that they basically got obliterated by Tracy Sports twice, both Act 1 and 2. So it's just unlucky there for Bilbili. But to be fair as well, they are still a very solid team, and I expect them to be around the top 4 region next year in 2024. The undisputed champions of China is Edward Gaming. Obviously, they basically won all 3 acts. The other esports that they are in, according to Wikipedia, is Arena Valor, Clash Royale, Counter Strike, Crossfire, Hearthstone, Heroes, League of Legends, Rocket League, and Wild Rift. Obviously, they're mainly well known for like League of Legends, Hearthstone, Clash Royale, and obviously Valorant. I would be very, very, very surprised if they make changes to this roster. They might, considering they struggled a lot during the Africa tournament, but that might be also because that they look very, very exhausted, considering that they just finished Act 3 and they have just been grinding and grinding and practicing for Africa tournament, and now they're probably going to be going to another tournament with like some Japanese and Korean teams. I can't really remember what the name is called, but they're probably going to be there as well. So Edward Gaming, they are very, very busy. I definitely think that they deserve a break at least, because they are a very, very good team. I mean, we saw especially from this year in 2023, where they made it to the playoffs and to Masters Tokyo and champions as well. And obviously with the rise of Kang as well, that was just a great story. So I would not be surprised. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make any changes to the roster of Hao Dong, Shishu, Nobody, Kang, Smoggy, and Mungu as a substitute. And I will also not be surprised if they don't make any changes to the coach as well as for After and Saw 9. I would not be surprised at all. And then obviously we have a look at obviously Act 1, they came first. Act 2, they came first. And Act 3, they came first. So the Edward Gaming should be theoretically favorites for this for next year in 2024 for China. But we'll see what the other teams do. I'll be interested to see actually, obviously, how the other teams do and what changes they make. If they do poach some of the players from Edward Gaming, that would be massive. But we just have to wait to see. FunPlus Phoenix was actually the first team to be announced to be part of the partnership league in China, not Edward Gaming, which was pretty interesting to say the least. But either way, it was still very, very good. Obviously, this is obviously the same team that won Masters 2 Copenhagen. Well, not the same team, but the same org that won Masters 2 Copenhagen. That was a part of Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, and Wild Rift. That's the other esports that they're a part of. And I think FPX a solid top 5, top 4 team as well. I think this is also the roster that they're going to be running as well with Berlin, TCH, Lysol, and Autumn, which is pretty interesting. And they actually went pretty well, even with, I think they comment a mixture of Mandarin and English. I think Berlin pretty sure speaks some really, really good English, so I'm pretty sure he communicates with Autumn there. I think Autumn has also learned some Mandarin as well to communicate with the team. I would not be surprised. I don't think there's going to be any changes. I'm pretty sure Autumn is locked in for next year. Not too sure about everyone else. I'm pretty sure everyone else is also locked in as well. So I don't think there's going to be any changes to this team, including the coaches as well of Nathan D. I don't think there's going to be any changes. They might maybe add one coach in my opinion, maybe, but I'm not really too sure. And then obviously, okay, they literally Act 3 for some reason. But we just have like a more in-depth look at the Act 1. So Act 1, so they lost to Atom. I'm pretty sure they came third, correct me if I'm wrong, or fourth, I can't really remember. Act 2, I'm pretty sure they came third as well, once again. Yeah, to Atom, and then Act 3, I believe they came second place. So they're very, very consistent, I'll say that. Incredibly consistent, actually. So once again, I think this is definitely a top 4, top 5 team in my opinion. A team that I was so surprised to make it in is JD Gaming, obviously, mainly because they have a League of Legends team, and obviously Riot and JD Gaming, obviously they know each other very, very well. Riot has partnered JD with over at League, so completely makes sense there. Other than League of Legends, JD Gaming have also been a part of Overwatch, PUBG Mobile, and Wild Rift. Here's the squad, and I highly, highly doubt that this is going to be the squad that they're going to be running for 2024. With Farway, Zion, don't know how you say Jen now, maybe? Well, I don't know how you say the name. Simon, Vicky, and Nearly as a sub. Not really, I would not be surprised if they make some changes. I'll be honest. I don't know what changes they could make, but I would not be surprised if they make quite a lot of change. Maybe poach them, maybe some players, especially from our Atom, considering what that's going to be happening with that, because you only need one import, so who do you really have as your only import player? Not really too sure. As for the coach of Bilio and Kaharu, Not really too sure as well. This team is a bit of a question mark for me. Not really too sure how they're gonna go. But they have been. I mean, they were part of the play-in for Act 2. That's really all. They bombed out from the open qualifiers in Act 1 and 3. But obviously, this was with this roster. So anything can happen. They could obviously make some drastic changes, and they could be 10 times better. But JD Gaming, a bit of a question mark for me. I'm guessing they might do really, really well when they pick up their roster, but as of right now, it is a bit of a question mark. The only non-Chinese funded, well, I should say, the only non-Chinese organization is Nova Esports. This Hong Kongese organization is the only non-Chinese team, and they've been part of quite a lot of esports, which includes Arena, Valor, Brawl Stars, Call of Duty, Clash Royale, FIFA, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Overwatch, PUBG Mobile, and Wild Rift. I was not expecting Nova Esports to actually make it in. That was not on my list. Obviously, I made some mistakes on my prediction, but obviously, we get into that at the end. So, the squad, obviously, of one, Abani, Panghage, Izer, CB, and JL, I highly doubt that is going to be their roster. I think they're going to be making some drastic changes. The coach vote of 24K. Once again, I think they're going to be making some drastic changes. And what looks like, yep, Act 1, they bombed out from the upper qual. Actually, no, they bombed out from the play-ins, and then they bombed down both Act 2 and Act 3. So, not really too sure what this team is going to be doing. I don't know. We just have to wait to see what team, what Nova Esports are cooking. But it's very interesting that this is the only non-Chinese team in a partnership, which is interesting. A team which I said that is mainly well known for CS actually made it to partnership, which I find pretty funny, is TYLOO. Yes, I associate TYLOO more with CS and Arena Valor or something, which I'm pretty sure is one of the teams. Never mind, I'm pretty sure it's PUBG or StarCraft, I think. I can't remember. But other than StarCraft and PUBG, and Counter-Strike, obviously have Dota 2, League of Legends, and Warcraft. I think this might be the roster. I think they're gonna be keeping some players like Sorry My Bad, Lura King, Nine Buddy, Akra, Ice, and Slowly. I think they could be making some changes, not a lot. I think they're probably gonna be keeping some of the players though. So won't be surprised if there's slightly changes. Maybe adding maybe 3 or 2 more players maybe onto this roster. Obviously, and replacing some of the players as well. So expect maybe some changes there, especially. They probably could be keeping some players as well, just to really build off from them. Coach as well of Yi, not really too sure. I think Yi might be fine. I think he's all right, in my opinion. Act 1 they came 7th to 8th, and then Act 2 if we actually have a look. Act 2 they bombed out from they bombed out from the selection, and then they absolutely bombed out from the open qualifier. So. I mean, to be fair, LGD Gaming, they were a pretty good team, so not really surprised there, but still, not really good team if you got bombed out from the other qualifiers, even though you were invited into the Act 1 tournament. So, not really that good look for TYLOO, but I mean, they're in it now. They're probably not going to bomb out. I expect maybe middle of the pack, maybe 6th or 5th, maybe, in my opinion, but I'm not really too sure. Titan Esports Club we're now up to, and obviously they're part of only one esports, which is PUBG Mobile. As of right now, they're probably a part of like League of Legends, something I just don't know about it. They only have one player on the active squad, which is Abo, which is interesting, considering that they're also the only team to actually run ISO as well on Breeze, which didn't really go too well, I'll be honest, but they only came in, I'm pretty sure, in Act 3, and they made it all the way to the main event, and they came 5th through 6th, while they lost to Trace Esports, so not really too bad for this team. Could we maybe see Abba maybe in the lineup full time? Could we maybe see, like, Echo or Sylvan jumping over? Not really too sure. I think, like, I think there's definitely going to be some players on, like, top teams like Rare Adam, Top, Won't Never Give Up, Team Werbo. I think those players are probably going to be poaching. Be joining some of these teams, but not really too sure what TEC is going to be doing for 2024. A team that surprised everyone was Trace Esports, and I'm not really too sure what the basically what the input looks like for Hong Kong players. I'm not really too sure if Hong Kong players count as a international player. Or I should say an import, so I'm not really too sure what the issue is there. But I won't be surprised if they. I think they could maybe make one change. I'm not really too sure who they could replace. Maybe the sub of Dynamite. Not really too sure, but maybe there might be like some changes. Maybe like 1 or 2 changes, in my opinion. So with Fengev, Flexen, Hybe, Yu, and Kai, and then Dynamite as a sub. Yeah, just like I said, maybe like 1 or 2 players it could maybe change, but that's really all for Trace, considering that they surprised me. And the coach as well, Destroyer, I expect Destroyer to come back, considering that he basically coaches team to unprecedented results. I mean, they came 4th in Act 1 variation, which I was very, very surprised about. They came 2nd in Act 2, and they came 4th in Act 3. They have always been on the top 4 half, I should say. So, top 4 once again, maybe for this team. Not really too sure. I could definitely see them maybe being out, maybe Bilbili Gaming, in my opinion. I think Bilbili is maybe the weakest team out of the 4 teams of Edward, FPX, Trace, and Bilbili. And then maybe just Trace and FPX and Edward Gaming, in my opinion. But obviously, stuff can happen. They could maybe improve massively. We'll see what they do, and obviously, I will try and keep you posted. But yeah, we'll see what changes Trace Esports does. And the final team is Wolves Esports, the English division of Wolverhampton Wanderers, which was really confusing. They're mainly a COD mobile team. They're also a part of Arena Valor, FIFA, Naraka, PUBG Mobile, Rainbow Six, and Rocket League. And I expect some changes here. I mean, 12, 142, Apricot, Invincible, ZZ9, Nagi, Seawave, and Shoshang, who's a former Overwatch player. I expect some changes onto the team, especially 15D and the coach as well. Definitely some changes, considering that they bombed out on both Act 2 and Act 3 upper qualifiers. So this team would definitely be making some changes. But if they kept this roster, I think they might be maybe 8th. Maybe I'm not really too sure of obviously who the Ascension team is going to be, but I mean, we just have to wait and see what Wolves does. I think some of these teams that I don't really know about, they might be making some roster changes after Ascension. So I guess we know. So most likely teams will know which players are available to pick up. So we just have to wait and see what Wolves Esports does. So the teams who are highlighting like aqua teal color, they are part of the partnership team. So if we just have a look only at the top 20. Basically, I guess where Adam would be like the first seed in Ascension, there'll be Attack and Assault. We'll never give up. Pretty sure they ever meant to be disbanding. So then be Dragon Ranger, then Top, which I'm pretty surprised about. It did not make it into partnership. 17 Gaming, Nip, Team Weibo, who is also pretty sure shutting down. Night Wings Gaming, and Flying Grimman, LGD Gaming, and Keep Beast Gaming. The lowest one as well for context is Wolves Esports, who's on 39th. So yeah, it really does matter of if you're obviously a good org, has Riot work with you, and do they have good experience with you, and the money, and bring a fan base and stuff. So obviously, it does mean a lot if you want to be a part of partnership. But yeah, those are basically like some of the teams who did not make it to partnership and are probably going to be going to Ascension. I think maybe like the lower half most likely will probably not be going to partnership. I think it's maybe the top couple teams will be making the partnership, maybe an invite, and then everyone else will be from an open qualifier, in my guess. So like maybe like top 4, maybe like Rare Adam, Attack and Soul, Dragon Ranger, and Top Esports. I think they maybe get an invite, and then maybe there's a couple, maybe I don't know, 8 spots maybe remaining, and everyone else just gets to compete for those spots. 8 or 4 doesn't really matter, but I might guess that there might be maybe some invite teams, and that's really all. So yeah, I mean that's just basically all the partnership teams. Not too bad. I did get some wrong. I'm pretty sure I said Weibo was gonna get in Nip, Top, RNG, Attack and Soul, Rare Adam maybe. I mean, Rare Adam, Attack and Soul, both of them, they could maybe possibly be, make it into from Ascension, but not really too sure either way. So now I would like you now guys to like, comment, and subscribe. That would really help me. We've already reached 200 subscribers, which blew my mind. Let's try 250 subscribers maybe by the end of this year. That will be very, very much appreciated. So that's really about it with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.